Did you already type? Oh, you typed my name in and all that already? I have to go ahead.
I was always interested in like minor league cities and different teams.
All right, I'll do it.
And like,
what do you mean?
Right around the pandemic, or either before or either right after, they condensed the whole. Like remember it used to be a lot of different minor leagues, and they condensed them to make it more uniform. Like I said, I've always been interested in minor league, like uniforms and teams, hats. I'm big in hats, as you can see. But that's to me the true death of. You gotta say like I was telling him.
Go.
I prefer to have a hat or a shirt that no one else has. That way, you don't look like a foreign.
Here it is. You hear the uptick. We start the music. You know what time it is. It's 2 o'clock. It's Sunday. We on 31. We at 3119 Hampton Ave. Overtime Studios. High off the glass. We in the building. What up, y'all? How's everybody doing out there? I know everybody is excited for today's episode. We got a good old we were on vacation type episode today, y'all. Like, that's how we'll do it. Oh, the audience is excited. Today my guests are Mr. Rob, this brother, y'all know this brother Smooth, older brother that can that knows sports in and out and gets upset at the same time. He has a passion. I love it. Everybody say what's up. What up, Rob? How you living? And you Prince today. You purpled out. And we got Coach Hill in the building. Damon, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Mr. Co-host is here. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all? We starting the conversation off with hats? Like you had a full conversation going just now about hats or whatever. What was that?
We talk about
it was.
Because I'm a hat enthusiast.
Oh, you would.
Like this particular hat that I have on.
Oh, okay.
I mean, some people you wouldn't know it, but it's the same stuff.
Well, we'll get to that because I have something on today that I would like to make mention of. We're going to do that before the end of the show. But yeah, we just Coach and I coming off our Cleveland trip. Shit was amazing. I just want to say kudos to the city of Cleveland, Ohio. Y'all are dope. Y'all like a baby Chicago. Lot to do. We ran out of time. We could have been up there a whole week and done a lot more stuff. Man, it was so much basketball, sports everywhere in their city. I see they still repping the Indians up there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They still doing that, but I loved it. We went to Cleveland versus Boston. Some of the pictures from the game should be cycling through the TV. What is it? Okay, thank you, sir. Executive producer Justin Kickett doing this thing. But I really enjoyed the trip. You know what I'm saying? Coach, what you think about it? What'd you think about it?
Well, I got a different perspective than he does. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was fulfilling a bucket list for me as far as going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and knocking that arena off my list as far as going to all the NBA arenas.
Thank you.
Cleveland has a great arena. It has a very nice arena. The accessibility is really nice, and just seeing the court. Naturally, I had different seats, but even my regular seat, it was cool. You have a good vantage point, things of that sort. As far as like the city, it's average. You know what I'm saying? I was more excited about seeing the Pro Football Hall of Fame because I've been waiting since I was a child.
You thought Cleveland was average?
Yeah, it's just average.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I'm
that's
dead
a diss.
serious. It's just,
Yeah, that's kind of a.
like I said, hey,
that's a diss. Shit.
I'm not dissing them. It's just an average city, just like St. Louis is just an average city.
No, St. Louis ain't average.
Well, it depends on your perspective.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, continue.
But like I said, stated before, seeing Boston in person, it's always a thrill. And then getting free basketball was great, even though we didn't have to. But that's always a different color. But I still wish, like I said, going to the museum and then seeing the Superman exhibit at the library, For people who don't understand how to
That's an
pronounce the
inside
word.
joke right there. You talked all that shit about me saying it, and you couldn't even say library. Okay.
No, I just said it twice.
Wow, I thought you said
No,
library.
there's no way on earth
Okay.
that anyone would ever hear me say the word Liberry.
Yeah.
Library.
Okay, that's an
But
inside.
great experience for anyone who has not seen the Pro Football Hall of Fame and you are a football fan. You are doing yourself a great disservice.
Yeah.
Because if you have been a lifelong football fan and you're over 40, 45 years old, it's like seeing everything you have seen on Sunday night, Monday night, Saturday, Thursday. If you remember anything about the NFL from when you were growing up, it's going to trigger all of those memories. You know what I'm saying? When you see pictures of, like Irv Cross, you know what I'm saying, or something from the NFL today, or just seeing the Vince Lombardi trophy. Got a picture with that, and then I thought about it for a second. I'm like, I got a picture with the Vince Lombardi trophy, and I also have a picture with the Larry O'Brien trophy from the Basketball Hall of Fame. But the Football Hall of Fame, it is really great. And if you really, it doesn't matter if you have like one team that you like root for, like myself, or if you don't have a team and you just love football. You got to get there. Inexpensive, $31. Yeah. We just so happened to meet Rondé Barber. They were actually filming a special there. They said Joe Thomas had just left. Zach Thomas was upstairs. One of us got a picture with Rondé Barber. One of us didn't.
And again, and I'll talk about it.
Guess
I'll
who
talk
that
about it.
was?
I did not get a picture with Rondé Barber. The reason why is I like Rondé. Rondé is a good player. He's a Hall of Famer, but he's not one of my guys. I'm not one of those people, and I don't want to point fingers, that just want to take photos with, sports celebrities just to say that they did. I'm not one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it was somebody that I love, like some Barry Sanders or some Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, like one of my guys, I would have broke my neck. You know what I'm saying?
But you're missing the
Take a picture,
context.
but, yeah.
You're at the Hall of Fame, and there's an actual Hall of Famer there,
True,
living,
right,
who just
right,
got elected.
Right. And he's right, and I really wish we got there if we really got there, Rob, literally, I say about 10 minutes, 15 minutes earlier, we probably could have seen them record, because they were recording something for the Hall of Fame, like everybody that was being enshrined this year. Joe Thomas, like all the guys were there. So it was pretty dope. Have you ever been to Cleveland? You have not?
Not missing
okay.
anything.
Yeah, you should go. You would like it now. I saw you react to something on your phone. I know this is probably something sports related. What was that you were reacting to, sir?
Well, I was looking at the scores from the game y'all went to, and I didn't make a bet. I was going to bet on Brown and Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
They had good nights.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell lights us up every time. That's 40 again.
Yeah.
That's like 3 times.
Yeah, I don't understand it. And
You don't understand it. It's Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, but God bless
What's,
you.
what's not to understand? The man scored 71 points.
They should be able to stop that. They let a book get off on us that one time, 71. I don't think he's had a high game on us since. If you know there's one dude that particularly, and he's undersized, that kills you, you better key in and learn how to stop that. You better neutralize that.
This is one of the top 5 scorers in the game.
Yeah, I know. I
He's
like Spider.
going to get
Spider's
his.
cold-blooded. You talking about if I saw him, if we was in Cleveland, I would have broke my neck to take a picture with that dude.
Are we talking double team here? Are we talking
Donovan Mitchell?
I'm saying he's saying they kill Boston every time. I'm saying, so do we change the strategy here? Do we double team? Do we get the ball out?
That's what I'm saying. We got to do something.
It doesn't make a difference. He's going to get his.
No, because see, that's
you have to hope he's off.
But Damon, why you say that? Because in the first half,
Because he's an elite scorer.
In the first half of that game, we held him in check. You know what I'm saying?
A game has 48 minutes.
I hear
I don't know if you didn't hear. It was somebody. I don't know. I can't remember because I was looking at the rebroadcast. I can't remember if it was somebody who was sitting in front. Yeah, it was somebody who was sitting to the side of us. And they was like, "Man, that's the quietest 30 points I ever seen."
Yeah. Yep.
But it's 30 points.
That
let you know how. That let you know how efficient he is.
Yeah.
Donovan
A fan
Mitchell
literally did just say that.
You have to hope that Donovan Mitchell is just inefficient that night. Because either way it goes, he's going to get anywhere from 25 to 40 points.
Yeah.
It's just that he's one of those scorers in the league. You're not stopping him.
The thing that pissed me off the most about that game, both of y'all, is the fact that it was a third straight loss to teams you are better than, and you had the lead on. Like Brooklyn, New York, and then Cleveland. Like, it was just disrespectful.
So what about your guy at the free throw line when Donovan Mitchell came to him?
Okay, we can talk about that. Coach has. I know Coach's perspective. I literally heard Coach say this literally all night after the game in the hotel. Next day, Coach, what did you keep saying over and over again? You couldn't help.
All you had to do is make 2 free throws.
One.
All you had to do is make one. Then you had the nerve. Like I said, we didn't know it because he was at the arena. We didn't know it till we get back to the room and see the highlights. We didn't know that he was on the line talking trash.
Right.
You can't see it from the arena. You can't see the fact that he's telling somebody, "I'm finna make both of them.
Yeah,
I'm making both of these."
He said that to Donovan.
He said that to
Donovan
Donovan.
came over to him and he said, "I'm gonna make both of these."
Yep. And Spider did his job. Spider got him
Now,
out his
when he
focus.
released
he did
the
his job.
first one, I knew the first one was off. I could tell automatically it was going off to the
The
side.
first one was good.
So once he misses the first one, what are you supposed to do?
Supposed to take your time. You're supposed to relax.
Step off the line. Step off the line. You just missed the free throw. You don't just stand right there. Step off the line, relax, get your thoughts together.
Got in his head.
Bend your knees.
Got in his head. But they were up double digits.
Oh yeah, hey, that's the thing. Okay. They blow leads against teams that they're better than. Like that's the thing that upsets me. And then Malcolm Brogdon doing his thing keeps him in the game. Derek White doing his thing keeps him in the game. Like everybody knows, we have a strong roster. We have a strong bench. I think the only team that has a deeper team than we do is, or just as deep as the Clips. And I'm glad the Clips are starting to figure it out.
You got to understand as well, though. Cleveland is a deep team, and Cleveland also is a bad matchup.
You're right. And we found a way, and that's another thing, too. We found a way to keep Garland cold damn near the whole game, but then we let him hit crucial ass threes. He hit that one little corner three that really kept him in the game. And I think the one that gave another one right after that, the boy hit 2 straight threes in a row that got him back in the game and gave him the lead. Like, you gotta, goodness, like, keep one of them quiet.
Can you tell me, but since you got the box score up, what did Cleveland's forwards do? Just only their forwards.
You talking points? We talking rebounds?
Points, rebounds.
34-19, and then the bench gave them 45-27.
Well, no, we don't want to count the guards coming off the bench.
Cleveland bench had 45. We had 27.
No, he's talking the forwards.
Just
forwards.
forwards.
Forwards gave them 34-19.
Now look at our starting forwards and see what they gave.
37-19.
That's even. Then when we go to the bench though, it's different.
I think it's the bench and the guard play is what killed us. Is Donovan?
Because actually, their bigs didn't do what they normally would do.
And Tatum didn't play.
And JT did not play. JT did not play. Another thing too, and I brought this up to fans at the game, and they didn't know. Couple of them didn't know how to answer it. Whose team is this?
That's the thing. You're asking regular fans.
Boston,
Cleveland.
Whose
team is this? You know what I'm saying? And in a lot of some said Spider, some said Garland. Like whose team is that?
When you break down basketball, you understand. Yes, Donovan Mitchell is the dominant scorer on the team. He's the leader on the team, but the ball and the offense flows through Darius Garland. That's why Colin Sexton is not there anymore, because they both had the same kind of role. They both were scoring point guards, or aggressive point guards, I should say. But Darius Garland is more of a distributor. That's why Colin Sexton was shown the door. Mm-hmm. If you take Darius Garland off the squad, yes, Donovan Mitchell can have the offense run through him, but he's not a distributor like Darius Garland is. When you have a natural point guard and you have natural point guard skills, you have to have the offense flow through that person. No matter if this man scores 45 points a game, it doesn't make a difference. The offense has to flow through Garland because he knows how to set people up, and he plays point guard naturally.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell, he's a scorer naturally. That's why I was stating before, as far as when you were saying why we can't put hold him down is because he's a natural elite scorer. There's no natural elite scorer that anyone can hold
So
down.
you just think it's a bad matchup. So if they meet in the playoffs,
It's not. I mean, it's more of a bad matchup when it gets to our bigs, because anyone who has active bigs, they really give us issues.
so if they meet up in the playoffs,
Oh, Boston gonna beat them, but it's going to be a 7-game series, especially considering the fact that if we get anybody into foul trouble, we're gonna have to depend on Mike Muscala. Thank you.
so then the question becomes, why is Boston blowing these leads, these double-digit leads in these last week,
That's
three
just
games?
you got
That's
to look
a
at
great
it. You got to
question.
look at it from this point of view. There's only like less than 20 games left. So if you're already knowing you're 1, 2, or 3, sometimes it's still hard to focus all the time. Then now that particular game, making no excuses, but you're coming off a double overtime game the day before. That's why we noticed in the late third to the fourth quarter, Jaylen Brown was just super tired. Like Austin Powers said, and I'm spent. He was like that. He's holding his shorts every possession. That's why Donovan Mitchell is constantly going at him, because I see he's
That's
tired.
why we couldn't come back in that game.
And when you add into the mix of the new mentality of taking threes, the best way to get into a game is to constantly get twos, in my opinion. You can get an occasional 3, but as long as you're constantly scoring, you can't. You see what I'm saying? You give your chance. You give a better chance for offensive rebounds to get the other team in foul trouble. You miss threes, 9 times out of 10, long rebound, fast break. But the way the new NBA is, hey, take that three.
Right.
But
I think that'd be the problem with this league. But you know what, Rob, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
And I think this is something we discussed the other day when I asked you if you'd like to come on. You graciously said yes. I appreciate that, because I love what you bring to this show. I just want to say that. Thank you, bro.
No problem. Appreciate it, man.
I love what you bring to this show. And my question is, did the Phoenix Suns make a huge mistake? Because I'm really thinking, and I want both of y'all opinion. But Rob, I need to start with you, man, because you have a disdain for KD that is real and is righteously given. I get why you have it.
Well, I think Kevin Durant is a good player, so I'm not here to discredit what a 6'9" player can do. I mean, the kid gets buckets, no
Right.
doubt about
6'11".
it. I'm sorry, the
7
kid gets
feet.
buckets, but joining the Warriors hurt his legacy. That's just a fact. 73-19, they already been to the finals. That hurt his legacy.
True.
He leaves there, goes to Brooklyn. That's a disaster and a train wreck. Now, you're going to give Kyrie all the blame. Kevin Durant, you chose that direction. You chose to follow him over there.
Right.
Okay, and then nothing good came from that. So then Kyrie leaves. So I'm like, okay, cool. Kevin Durant's going to lead this team.
Right.
Oh, no, now it's a bad situation. Come
Yeah.
on. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we go to Phoenix.
Yeah.
An established team already. Maybe
Yeah.
not a championship team, but they have been to the finals.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So then great for Chris Paul, because he's never won a championship. And Chris Paul's like, wow, we got Kevin Durant hurt. That's great.
Yep.
Kevin Durant's been injury prone the last 5 years. Like, he's missed a lot of games.
Yes.
The fact that he got hurt going for a layup in warm-ups is insane. Like, it's a
is.
freak. Like, it's crazy.
Freak injury.
So let's say they say he's going to miss the rest of the season. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. And then he comes back and what? They win the championship?
I don't see it.
I don't see it either, man. And
me
again,
too.
the West is wide open, but I don't see him coming back and them winning the championship. I just don't, man.
Right.
I don't think they're constructed like that.
Yeah.
You gave away 2 of your best young talents over there. Their bench has been depleted. I just don't see it, man.
So you think it's a big mistake?
I just don't see it. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's a mistake. I think they had a nice core team there. I think they had a chance to compete. In theory, it puts them over the top, but look at the bench.
That's his theory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we need to address a couple of things you said, man, as far as this dude legacy and all of that. For one, like you said, he went to a team that was 73-9. Were they champs, or were they just 73-9? Were they defending champions? Yes
They
or
were
no?
not defending champions.
They were not defending
But
champions.
they had won a championship.
They had won a championship a year,
And had been
the
to
year
two.
before that.
And had been to
not,
two.
I'm not here to argue the Golden State thing. Let's just talk about Phoenix.
No, we're
Keep it
talking
to
about
Phoenix.
Kevin Durant.
Let's just keep it to Phoenix.
No,
though.
we're talking about Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
This is just part of the
Talking legacy.
backstory.
We're
That's
talking
all.
legacy.
You're going to stay too long on the backstory.
Wrong.
We're talking legacy.
Like I stated, Okay, now if you go there and you take over, that's different.
I literally just asked, did the Suns make a mistake?
And I'm building up to that. I'm going off. I'm talking about things that this man just stated.
Right.
That's all.
Rob want to take it to Lakers.
Now remember, he did ask for a trade before Kyrie asked for a trade.
Sure did.
He asked for a trade last summer.
And then somebody had to walk him off the ledge with his little crying ass.
He's
no,
very
that's when he
he's very sensitive.
He challenged.
Super.
That's when he challenged the owner.
Goodness.
Very sensitive.
That's when he challenged the owner, and the owner didn't back down. Then Kyrie comes back and asks for a trade, and then Kevin Durant was like, "All right, I'm out of here too. We do not have a coach. We don't have a seasoned coach."
Well, Kyrie said they didn't need a coach.
No. That part was gone.
We got two superstars.
That's
We need
what
no
I'm saying.
coach.
No.
We
This is
finna
what
win
I'm
this.
saying. No. That part had been gone. Jacques Vaughn had already taken
We
over.
don't need no coach.
Right.
I'm saying that was old news. That was from last year.
Superstars don't need no coach.
Jacques Vaughn had already taken over. That's all I'm saying. Now I'm not defending KD or anything. I'm just saying because you can go back to a couple of shows ago and you can see where I said this was not going to work because they're all constantly injured. I've been stated that.
Phoenix or
The guys that they're depending on, that so-called big three, stays injured. I stated as soon as this went down, what is all this excitement about?
Big four?
This is not going to work.
I mean, could they be considered a big four?
But when he did play with them, and when you seen him just slide right in, and once again, it was the same thing that happened with Golden State. He was the main focus of the offense with no kind of practice. And came in getting it as usual, like we've stated before. When you have a natural elite scorer, what is he getting? 25, 27 points a game.
Get buckets.
Yeah.
And he was making Phoenix a nice team. I'm not gonna lie, but as far as like being the number one contender for the championship, no, that's Sacramento and Denver. But I like Sacramento probably a little more than Denver. Sacramento is the team to be in the West. Did you see what happened last night?
I did.
Barely. They beat Phoenix, but barely beat them.
They didn't. Imagine being at the kiosk for live betting, and it's 1.5. I know the Kings are going to cover this. Covered it, and then what else did they do? Expanded on it.
Yeah.
I like the Kings.
Because even with KD, they would have won that game. That's what I feel like. The Kings are that nice.
I like the Kings.
Because you got an extreme 1-2 punch. You got a point guard that cannot be stopped at all. And you have a big man that cannot be stopped
Hey, they got
at all.
They got some good players over there, man. They got some
and
good
you
pieces.
got Malik Monk,
like
who as a sixth man probably should be sixth man of the year.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and I love that you threw it up to Sacramento. Appreciate y'all on Facebook watching. Thank you for whoever threw up that thumbs up. But I just want to say, I love Sacramento. I love that they put that beacon up every time they win. They got a real coach in Mike Brown. They got really good players. They've always been good. Shit, they point guard is basically Sabonis.
Whoa, they ain't always been good.
No. They've been good they've been a decent team for a while. They just never had coaching.
What do you consider for a while? What do you consider a decent team?
Like they've been a decent team, as in had decent players. They've had decent players. Like this ain't Sabonis' first year with them. Fox has been there with them.
Year.
Harrison been with them for a minute.
They ain't had no decent teams, dog. They ain't even been in the play-in.
Listen. They had decent players. That's all I'm saying. You had Alvin Gentry as a coach, so you weren't gonna be good. That was kind of their fault. But I cannot, in watching professional sports for most of my life, and I'm 43 years old, can say that they're going to win the chip or they're coming out the West.
Why not?
The reason why is just simple and plain. They have no playoff experience, like you just said. They haven't been a good team. They're a good team now, but they don't know how to win in the playoffs because the playoffs is a whole nother beast. It's a
What's their
whole
road
nother
record?
season. So their road record could be good. I'm just
it's
saying
over 500.
They are not. I don't see now. Maybe next year when they
No.
We're gonna
talk about the future. We're talking about now.
I don't see them doing.
Okay.
You don't see
who?
Sacramento.
No, not at all.
How many teams? Put it like this. You know how many teams in the West got 40 wins? 2.
3.
Oh, the Clippers now.
Memphis and the Kings are tied.
Okay.
40 and 26, and the
And
Nuggets are 46
Denver.
and 21.
But then
So 3.
Memphis pretty much is pretty much in the tailspin. But then when you judge these teams, you look at their home record and their road record. Sacramento is elite on the road. Look at all the other teams in the West and look at their road records. Sacramento comes in and handles business, and they have I don't know what makes you think all these other teams are more of a threat than Sacramento. Explain that how.
Yeah.
Just because they have more experience, these teams are not better than Sacramento.
Like
Big
I
Cat
said,
not coming back?
Go ahead, Rob.
Is Big Cat done for the year?
Cat from Minnesota?
Yeah.
I don't know. It sure seemed like it. I don't know.
Denver got more experience, but what has Denver won?
Yeah, exactly.
And they the number one. They the number one seed.
Yeah.
So what makes Denver more of a threat than Sacramento?
To me, Denver has, now granted it was the bubble, but they've won more in the playoffs. They've actually, I don't know,
won what?
In the playoffs. They made it to the
If you don't win the chip, all that other stuff.
They made it to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay, so by that token,
they made it to the Western Conference
if
Finals.
Phoenix don't win a championship, then I think it was a bad trade. Like
That's
if they
another thing.
don't win, like the expectation,
Oh, but they are.
Kevin Durant coming there is a championship.
Right.
Nothing
Right.
less than that.
Right.
So they got to win to verify that.
This is
trade.
the difference between KD and a certain other guy. KD, if you think about it, this team was put together at the All-Star break, right? This Phoenix Suns team. Basically, this team was put together at the All-Star break. When you bring in KD and the other, remember the guys they shipped out and the guys they bring in. When you do that, this is a brand new team. Basically, it's not the same team that started at the beginning of the year. When you do that, when you make all those changes at the All-Star break, brand new team. They did that in Cleveland at the All-Star break one year, and that guy took them to the finals. Am I mistaken?
Oh, without a doubt.
That's the difference between those two guys.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like when KD challenged the owner.
Without a doubt.
The owner was like, "I'm not backing down to
Without a
you."
doubt. I'm 100%.
But
Without a doubt.
I'm just saying, as far as he will make them a legitimate contender. He does make them a legitimate contender, but chemistry-wise, I don't see it with them, mainly because of the injury prospects. But that's why I have so much respect for Sacramento, because they do have chemistry and they play strong defense and they have a defensive-minded coach. And when you have a 1-2 punch that really can't be stopped, I can see that. That's why I don't mind saying what I can say about the lack of experience in regards to the other teams that are trying to mold chemistry within a month and a half to 2 months. These guys already got it. Yeah. That's the built-in advantage they have over everyone. Memphis is just shooting themselves in the foot with the decisions that they made in the injury to Brandon Clark. Otherwise, Memphis would have been that spot in originally, like I stated before the season.
I don't think Memphis is ready neither.
No,
They've had success in the playoffs, according to what you were saying.
I don't either.
They've had experience and success in the playoffs. If they were completely healthy, what would preclude them from being a championship contender?
Their attitude and
leadership,
their lack of leadership, and their lack of the only thing they can do late in games is go to the cup. I don't believe in their shooting. If you ask me. But Rob, I want to hear what your thoughts are, man. Who do you have? Either top two teams or top team, coming out the West.
Okay, let's go over the list, sir. Right now,
because I'm still hanging on with because I had the Clips in Mavs going to the Western Conference Finals. I'm holding on to that, and I'm damn sure holding on to them Clips. Now, Mavs might have shot themselves in the foot. You talk about teams doing that, D. Mavs may have done that by bringing Kyrie, cancer ass on their team, but we shall see.
Kyrie's not a cancer, and the Mavs don't play defense.
Yes, he is. He's a huge cancer.
No, I've never. If he's a cancer, show me one quote from a teammate. Show me one quote from a teammate who's ever said something bad about Kyrie.
I don't give a shit what a teammate says.
Then that's the only thing. That's the only way you can prove that someone is a cancer. It's by what teammates say, not by the media or people's own public judgments. You have to go off what the teammates say.
Go ahead, Chief.
I'm sorry. All right, we got the Nuggets, the Kings, the Grizzlies, the Suns, the Clippers, the Warriors, and Minnesota and Dallas is the top 8. Now, you want me to pick somebody to come out of there?
I want to see who's your
top 8.
Okay, so let me think here.
You know what I'm saying? You really got to look at the lineup for that.
Well,
you got to know
a
all
lot
the
of injuries
teams
out here, man. Luka's hurt, Warriors hurt.
I already know all the teams.
Soda, some Clippers, and some.
Kings looking pretty
Well,
good
maybe we should
now,
come back
ain't
to you because
Okay, so.
No, he's right. You got to look at
There's
all the
There's
rosters.
a lot of injuries out there, and that's gonna make it. That's gonna help. So, the Kings and the Nuggets. Not only they're the healthiest two teams, but they playing some of the best basketball out there. Now, originally I didn't pick them, but the Lakers hurt, Dallas hurt, the champs hurt, the Clippers got some issues over there.
right.
They looking like the top two contenders.
But what issues do the Clippers have? I think the only issue
Chemistry.
But they're figuring it out. They're actually winning. You know what I'm saying? Unlike
No, they just won three straight.
They 5-5 in their last.
3 straight's
games.
pretty fucking good.
Out of losing, that's after losing 4 straight.
It's better than the Mavs record with Kyrie. I think they're 3-5. You know what I'm saying? So they're not winning.
They 3-7. They last
Going
10.
500 does not mean that you're winning. That doesn't equate to you're winning. That means you're treading water.
Now, I think the Clippers are going to be tough. I think the Clippers are going to be a hard out in the playoffs. I believe that. And maybe Golden State, too. I mean, Curry's a monster over there, and they can figure that thing out. But I like the Kings. I don't necessarily know if I like them to win it, but I'm going to go with the Nuggets, man.
Okay. So you're going with so you're going with the Kings and Nuggets to go to the Western Conference Final.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's bold. I want to just count out Golden State. I want to just say they're done. I just want to say they're cooked. This, that, and the third. I had a great conversation with my boy Dime Dropper. Shout out to him. 2 weeks ago when we talked on High Off the Glass, and him and I both agreed on that. But I don't want to put them all the way out. I can't. I can't put Golden State all the way out. Heart of a champion, all that. When Rudy T said that, I believed it. You know what I'm saying? I think that, especially when Houston did their thing in '95 when they won their chip, because everybody counted them out. I don't see Golden State going back to the Western Conference Finals, but I see them as being a tough-ass out for whoever they play in whatever round.
You see them
straight up.
Do you see them as a top 4 team in the West End? It's that simple.
No, I do not.
So if you don't see them as a top 4 team in the West, that means you got them going out in the first round.
I know. I just literally said they're gonna be a tough ass out.
That ain't a tough out
for whoever they play.
It's not a tough out if you go out in the first round.
I see people taking people to the seven games in the first round.
All that means is they went. All that means is it just went 7 games.
Okay.
You still went home.
That's easier said than done. The people that got to play it as opposed to us watching it.
When you go out in the first round,
it's gonna be tough.
It's just that simple. You just a first round exit.
That
That means you weren't good enough to even make it past the first round.
I remember KG saying when Boston played Atlanta in the first round of their series in 2008, when Boston eventually won the chip, they said they had to play Atlanta in the first round. Atlanta took them to 7 games.
Yeah.
He was just like, we knew Atlanta had a crowd, but we didn't know they had a crowd. That was a quote from him, and we didn't know how good that Atlanta team was. They slept on them. Like they got knocked out in the first round by Atlanta. So don't just say that, bro, just because you a first round team or whatever. But all right, so I wanted to switch gears real quick. I wanted to talk about this is High Off the Glass. We talk about cannabis on here as well, and there's some new news coming through.
Breaking news.
some breaking news coming down the pipeline having to do with cannabis. Normal put this out. I wanted to get y'all opinion on it. Justice Department appealing federal ruling that struck down gun ban for cannabis consumers. What in the world? I'll say that one more time.
Please.
Justice Department appealing federal ruling that struck down gun ban for cannabis consumers. So it looks like the federal had a ruling that cannabis consumers, of course you should be able to have cannabis too, and I guess the Justice Department is trying to shut that down. Washington, D.C., the Justice Department is appealing a ruling issued by a federal judge last month that struck down a long-standing federal law prohibiting marijuana users from possessing firearms. In early February, a federal judge for the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Oklahoma determined that the 1968 law was unconstitutional. The government determined the mere use of marijuana carries none of the characteristics of the nation's history and tradition of firearms regulation supports. The use of marijuana, which can be bought legally under state at more than 2,000 ordinary storefronts in Oklahoma. Damn, Oklahoma got dispensaries for days. Is not in and of itself a violent, forceful, or threatening act. It is not a crime of violence, nor does it involve the actual use of threatened use of force. That's an end quote from the judge. The judge is, really speaking up for, cannabis users, folks as myself. What do y'all think about that? The Justice Department does not want people that smoke to have guns.
I think it's insane. I think it's insane. The millions of people that own guns, you're going to go to all of them and say, well, you smoke weed, you can't have a gun. Mm-hmm. I just think it's insane, man.
Like, I don't understand that.
I don't get it. I don't get the logic.
No, they're saying the law is if you're caught with an illegal amount of marijuana and you're a firearm owner, you lose your gun license.
Well, I don't know if that doesn't say all that in this. In front of the Justice Department announced that it was appealing.
Well, I have a very close personal friend who's always adamant about making sure because he doesn't get caught with THC cannabis while he has his firearm.
Wow.
Because he just for that purpose, and he stated this to me many times, But if I'm not a huge advocate of gunplay, so don't sway me either direction. I can care less.
No, all right. I think that's. I like the fact that they're actually trying to change this. I like that the judge shot it down, but I don't like that the Justice Department is kind of trying to appeal it. So I think that's jacked up. I don't mess with guns as well. I'm not a big gun advocate, but I don't think that just because you smoke, you should have a right taken away from you. I mean, that's one of that is the thing that these gun advocates, gun nuts stand on, is that they should be able to bear their firearms. So nobody says that if you're an alcoholic you can't have a gun.
Right.
I mean, in our problem in this country,
but if you're intoxicated.
Say what?
But if you're intoxicated, if it's a DUI or DWI situation,
and you have a gun, then yeah, you can be in trouble for that. But if you're a known alcoholic in your town, you can still have firearms. Is a reason why it's March. It's March, y'all, and we've already had 50 mass shootings already. What is clinically diagnosed or written down as a mass shooting? We've had 50 of them already this year,
like in the United States. In
the United States, so that's a goddamn shame. So our what we do here in this country, our gun laws they need to be fixed. They need to be deregulated, re-regulated, just redone, because it is too easy for people who have mental illness and people who should not have weapons get weapons.
The St. Charles Community Center used to have a gun show twice a year. They do it every month now.
It's every month
Every month for 3 days. Because every time you cut the news on and you see, just last week in St. Peter's at that Snooks, all right, a man was putting groceries in the back. His wife was in the driver's seat. A guy came on the passenger side with a pistol, ends up shooting the lady.
Oh.
The wife in the ear came through the jaw, right? Like in an instant, the man putting groceries and some nut jumps in the car. In an instant, every time one of those situations happen, there's another gun show, right? The NRA is more diligent now more than ever, saying we need more guns, because had we had guns, maybe this would have been prevented. And this is just my opinion. There's a reason they're having a gun show every month now. It was twice a year, because every time an incident happens and somebody pulls a gun and something happens, they say we need more guns. And if you speak to some of these hillbillies out here, some of these fools in these woods,
right.
You know what they say to me?
Right.
Hey, come on, Rob, we going shooting. No,
Right.
sir. I said, look, man, the vice president killed somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not going in the woods with you guys. You can
Yeah.
cancel that, sir.
Yeah.
But they're stockpiling.
Yeah.
Stockpiling.
They are.
More guns. More guns.
They are.
Now, can they be regulated to maybe some people that's had a record, or he's in trouble before, or some mental health issues, possibly. But to stop guns altogether in a state where we've had how many? 50 already?
No, across the country.
Across 50 mass shootings already.
Across the country, 50.
You think there's going to be less guns?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem. Is
And
solved
I'm not-
is more guns.
Yeah, and I'm not advocating for that at all, but I'm saying every time that happens, I cut on CNN and NRA's out there like, see, this is the reason. This is the reason. We need more guns. Which I think is insane, but I think it justifies their argument to some degree.
It's the opposite of fixing the problem.
Yeah.
It's
More
literally
guns. Let's throw more guns out there.
Let's throw more gasoline on the fire. That's how I look at it. Coach, you got any opinion on guns anyway, shape or form?
Like I said, that ruling don't affect me neither way for real. If you're a gun owner, more power to you. If you don't, hey, it's your personal choice.
Right. Okay. I hear you on that. All right, so this is the last little bit of news, cannabis news I got for y'all. Adult use marijuana legislation. God, I can't say that word.
Legislation.
Thank you. No, shit. Legalization.
That wasn't even a damn word.
Legalization. No, but here, that was right after. Yo, for real, I fucked that
that's
up.
funny, man. That's funny,
I fucked
man.
that up tough. I ain't never fucked up a word that bad. I can't talk shit about.
And this is why I
radio.
correct people.
Yo.
And they tell me, stop correcting people. You're not a teacher.
No, correct me for real. I need the correction. Adult use marijuana legalization in legislation advances in 3 states. Washington, D.C., legislation legalizing the possession of marijuana by those 21 and older and continues to advance in 3 states. Lawmakers in Hawaii advanced Bill 669 on Tuesday by a vote of 22-3. The bill legalizes marijuana use, production, and retail for adults. So you mean to tell me Hawaii was not already legal? Why?
What are the other 2 states?
It now awaits action in the House, where it faces an uncertain future. Specifically, House Speaker Scott Psaki has expressed reluctance to move the bill this year, instead calling for the issue to further assess in a summer study session. Wow, dude in Hawaii hating. In Delaware, I guess that's the other state, House members voted 28-13 in support of HB1, which removes criminal and civil penalties for adults who possess personal use quantities of cannabis. Complementary legislation, HB2, providing regulations for adult use cannabis retail market, is pending in the chamber. And finally, in Minnesota, a pair of bills, HF100, SB73, legalizing the adult use cannabis market, has passed multiple committees and are anticipated to receive floor votes in the coming weeks. The bill has the support of Democratic Governor Tim Walz, who publicly, bless you, predicted that the state would pass legalization by May. So Minnesota is with it. Hawaii is with it. They have some opposition, and looks like the last year legislation.
Delaware. So that means when I go to Minnesota next year.
Oh, but they have the governor, but vetoed by the governor Jim Carney, who opinion, I do not believe that promoting or expanding the use of recreational marijuana is in the best interest of the state of Delaware, especially our young people.
He's gonna
Recreational.
lose. Trust me. So that's the first state in the union, but Delaware is very small, and Delaware
Recreational up here.
and what
Hater.
the reason I know it's going to pass.
What if they got medical though?
The reason I know it's going to pass is
medical.
because, if I'm not mistaken, Pennsylvania is not a recreational state. Delaware is right outside Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. So somebody needs to take advantage of that money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I know it's going to pass in Delaware. There's nothing to do in
talks.
Delaware.
I don't know if it's passed all the
like
way
this
in. I don't know if it's passed all the way in Pennsylvania though.
That's what I'm saying. If Pennsylvania is not a recreational state,
Yeah.
somebody got to get that money from the city of Philadelphia. Hence, cross the border to either Delaware or New Jersey.
Yeah. I feel like, because I drove through Penn recently when I got caught in that Southwest bullshit December 27th. Y'all still suck for that, by the way. And stops in Southwest. Put this clip out here. Give me my fucking $300 credit. You wouldn't let me use it when I tried to fly to Cleveland last week. Can I get my credit? Like that's not cool. Stingy ass Southwest Airlines. Even though y'all got me there safe and got me back, so I appreciate y'all. It was a good flight, nice and smooth. But what is it? When I drove through the state of Pennsylvania, I want to say I did see a couple billboards, but I'm not 100% sure. So
that means you have to research it, and you don't have to go off conjecture.
Okay.
That's how you got to do.
Why don't you look it up then, Brown Google? Why don't you look it up then?
I shall.
Yeah, for real.
I'm actually recording right now.
You ain't about you're about to look up shit. So I think that's
I'm recording. That's why I can't look it up.
I hear you. I think that's dope for I hope Hawaii. It's so funny though. It's like it's still in 2023. Another reason why I have this show. I have this show to normalize the use of cannabis, to talk about it. It's not a big deal. If you smell like you just smoked a blunt or you smoked a joint, it's not a damn big deal because you don't care about that person who reeks of cigarettes or that person who reeks of alcohol that's either behind you or in front of you at the shopping store, at the shopping market, or at work. So don't trip off the cannabis user. And it's just funny that in 2023, Hawaii and Delaware have major opposition in Delaware to people using a plant. It's just funny to me. I don't get it.
Well, it took Missouri a long time to get legalized gambling.
Yeah,
right. Like it took a while. Like those church groups, they fought it for a very long time.
Yep.
Right. And the same for this sports booking. Right. Now I know they're fighting it, but I'm sure it's going to come. There's too much money in it.
Right.
To keep going across the bridge.
Right.
Because I wanted to make a bet today.
Right. I hear you.
Without driving over there, but I got to drive over there.
Well, here's the thing too. I'm not gonna lie. My son, he's old enough. He's 18. He takes advantage of, and I heard a friend of mine at work told me about this years ago. Websites. You go to them websites. You do not have to make that annoying trip. And have to circumvent your day to figure out how I'm going to get over to Illinois to make that bet, and then get over here to finish my rest of my day. You know what I'm saying? Jump on these websites.
Not if it's sports betting. They may be doing something like related to fantasy or something, but actual sports betting, there is no circumventing.
Yes, you can.
The app won't even let you place a bet. Once it reads your GPS, it's going to tell you.
I'm not talking about the app, sir. I'm not talking about DraftKings or FanDuel. I'm talking about straight up websites that you go to.
I know what you're saying.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm saying those are geared more towards actual like fantasy sports.
No, you can do real bets on there, bro. You can do quarters, you can do halves, you can do the whole game, you can do player props if they are real. You never heard of Five Dimes? Five Dimes is a real website you can go to in St. Louis or wherever you are in the United States, probably overseas,
and bet on a game.
Yes, yeah. They're illegal, but you can do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we talking about. Yeah. I don't do illegal shit like that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like that. You always have an option. You always have an option. All right. So, did anybody? I wanted to get y'all opinion.
Are we talking Ja Morant? We talking?
I don't even want
Danner Dimes. Where we going with this?
This is what I wanted to talk with it, and it's the fact that
March Madness is starting.
Oh God, I can't wait for it. For real.
Selection Sunday.
Man.
Yeah, that's what we should be discussing.
I want to talk about this real quick, and we're gonna jump right into that. But for real, because trust me, I want to talk about that. Because I want to jump right into that. I don't like the media's obsession to just love to talk about a black man that fucks up. Because it's just funny to me how Ja can get all this coverage of how he's effed up. And Lord knows he's been effing up. He's been effing up big time. But he can get all this media coverage of how he's been doing that. But, none of this on Farve. None of this on Sarver, the owner of the Suns. None of this on, other people who have actually done more to hurt other folks. You know what I'm saying? Ja is being a detriment to himself. Now, granted, I lost respect for him when he had the issue with the teenager.
Yeah.
Like
it's a bad look, man.
That made me 100% lose respect for you. But it's just funny to me, and I don't want your opinion on Ja. I want your opinion on what do y'all think about it's it's so much on him as opposed to other people, richer people, more influential people who have affected more folks. What do y'all think about that?
It's the same as it always been. It depends on what you're asking for and looking for and wanting is only going to come from the quote unquote new media. So if the new media actually puts a focus on it, excuse me, and actually puts a focus on it and keeps it in the spotlight, that's the only way it's going to be in the spotlight. Other than that, it's a pipe dream because you're depending on national channels, national platforms to actually incriminate the people that they have put on the pedestal. Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Right.
But if the new media says, you know what, we're going to keep this in the open. We're going to keep this as a discussion. We're going to keep this fact that this man stole from the poorest state in the union, and then had the nerve to come back with a lawsuit saying he was being defamed. But this is Copperfit's guy. That's why I don't mess with Copperfit anymore.
Talk about it.
They said he's still a good guy.
Well, he didn't know anything about that.
Fuck Copperfit.
This is when all the facts came out. He's still a good guy. But these people, you stole these food stamps, Brett. Just saying.
So sorry, yeah.
But when you talk about the media and how they look at things and portray things, it's gonna always be a slant towards making us look bad, especially when it's a current player. The perfect example is Kyrie. How they say all these things about Kyrie and all of this, but they don't say anything about the charitable efforts that he does, which is outstanding.
That gets talked about. I disagree.
Not as much as it should.
Not as much as it should. You're right, but
if I
know about it.
Just because you know about it, the general public, the mass public doesn't know about it, but they know about everything else. Okay, if you think I'm making this up, watch this. What about Alex Lynn? Did Alex Lynn? Oh no, I'm sorry, Myers Leonard. Did Myers Leonard have to take any kind of sensitivity courses or training?
Great call. Nothing. Nothing.
But we heard all this about what Kyrie had.
Has he played since?
He's back with who's he with now? He's with Stu Gatz on Levitar show. Called him out because he was pissed off about it. Who picked him up? Come on, Brown Google.
Doesn't matter to me.
He just got picked by is it OKC?
I thought it was like the last team he was with. I don't know. But
last team he was with was Miami.
All I'm saying is,
but yeah, he's
everything that he didn't have to go through all of that.
Yeah,
that Kyrie did.
Yeah,
and that's because of how the media portrays it.
Yeah,
point blank. You have one of your own making this comment, not a black man.
Yeah,
one of your own making that comment.
Yeah.
No sensitivity training and all of that.
But he did get, as soon as that happened though, like he was like cut from Miami. So he lost his job immediately.
And did you hear was it what I'm saying is, was it plastered on the news every day? Was it on First Take where they're talking about it every day?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
No. It was quickly swept up under the rug.
It was. Rob, what's your take?
I think the media has an agenda. And I think this is the new story. Like when Plexico Burris had the issue with the gun, right?
Yeah.
The Tiger Woods incident. Like, we're going to run this story every day, all day. This is our number one story. This is our agenda right here until the next story happens. Now, I think when there's a brother behind it, I think there's even more of a reason to get it out there. Like, we want to put this image out here. This guy did something wrong. How dare he? He should be grateful and lucky to be in the league. Now, you talk about this Brett Ford thing. Well, that didn't get the same airplay. Right. That got very little airplay because I was watching, I listened to Shannon, I plugged in to see who's talking about this Brett Ford thing. Yeah. You know what? It didn't get a lot of coverage.
Right.
So then we kind of forgot about it.
Right.
So now nobody's even talking about it.
At
right?
all.
Now, your man just mentioned, right, nobody's even talking about this Brett Ford thing. Now, it was out there for a minute, and then it was gone.
Yep.
But the more they keep the story out there, the more they keep it out there, the more we're talking about it.
Dana
now,
White.
Ja Morant. We're going to stay on this Ja Morant thing. They're going to keep pushing this.
Yes.
Just talk about this Ja Morant. So every day You cut on the news, whichever one of these shows is on, they talking about Ja Morant.
That's all
Even the
they-
football show.
What you just
we
said is
talking
what you
about
just
Ja
said is the perfect example, Dana White. That is the equivalent of Roger Goodell getting drunk and slapping his wife. When you're Dana White and you do that, that's just like Roger Goodell doing it. It's just like Adam Silver doing that.
And nobody's talking about that.
Nobody.
But your man for Baltimore, right, with the incident with his wife, the running back,
Ray
didn't
Rice.
play again. They ran that story like the O.J. story.
Yes,
they
did.
ran that
Yes, they
story
did.
24/7 every day. They kept showing it slow motion. Oh man, look at this bad guy. Look at this guy. But that Dana White thing, it didn't get the same coverage. They didn't get the
sad.
same coverage.
It's sad.
Just like they didn't talk about Francis Ngannou when he gave that title up, and but the reasons why he gave up the title versus Dana White. You know, when everything came out, he's like, I'm trying to get rights for fighters. I'm trying to get insurance. I'm trying to get a union. Dana White said, we don't operate business like that. That was his
don't
exact
operate
words.
business.
We don't operate business like that.
That's why I can't support the UFC. I don't understand how Cass can do it. And y'all brought up Baltimore, so this makes me want to ask y'all this. And let me check with the executive producer. Yo, Just, is there a show after me today? Bet no show.
Green, who's the guy?
Overtime.
Green.
Huh?
The guy Green, the lineman, choked his coach back in the day.
Oh, nah, I wasn't even about to go there. No, be more.
I'm just saying for coverage. Like
Yeah.
it didn't get a lot of coverage. We kind of swept it under the rug. Let's
This-
move on from this thing.
This is something that's getting a lot of coverage, and it's not a brother that did anything wrong, but they're kind of making it seem like it's his fault now that Baltimore doesn't want to pay an MVP guaranteed money that comparable to what another non-MVP in Deshaun Watson can get. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny that nobody's going to bat an eye when Joe Burrow gets his money.
Danny Dimes just
Or
got
when
160
Danny
million.
Dimes is get $40 million a year, and this cat has not won anything ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this is his first time winning a playoff game. The season that just passed. It's funny, but now,
But he only got 160 million guaranteed.
shit, that's still $40 million a year, sir. That's still $40 million a
I
year.
think his average is like 32 or something.
No, it's literally, I heard it. It's $40 million a year. Like, that's what he's gonna make. And my man Lamar Jackson can't even sniff that. And we're dealing with I really have a deep disdain and dislike. I don't want to say the H word, but I really do not like this person named Steve Biscotti, the owner for the Baltimore Ravens. This dude has been on some low key racist shit for eons. Not to mention the fact that outside of football, I know people that have worked under him, and they've said as much. How he conducted business between his employees. The man got rich off of what was it? He basically had internet business before everybody started doing it. So when you wanted to get stuff off the internet, he already had it all set up. So when it blew up off of buying stuff from the internet, you went to him, and that's how he made his money. This is the same dude who said when it came to signing Colin Kaepernick, will you pray for us? You know what I'm saying? But has a starting black QB and a backup black QB who is good, and has had Ozzie Newsome as his president, a GM for years. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like he hit you with both sides. You can say I'm racist as shit, but look at my roster and look at the people, my employees. So it's kind of funny, but I don't understand why they refuse to just pay this man his money and just want to franchise tag him. This is bullshit. And the messed up part is these teams, whether bust their ass to get an Aaron Rodgers who is damn near done, or some random white dude instead of winning with a brother. Like, they rather do that. They rather lose with some random white dude than win with a brother. I don't understand it. Y'all thoughts, please.
On Lamar getting his money?
All
From
of
Baltimore?
that. Like, tell me if I'm wrong. Like, if I'm looking at this the wrong way, tell me if I'm looking at it
Well,
the wrong way. But I just don't
By
understand
the
it.
numbers itself, by Lamar numbers, the MVP status, his winning percentage, he should have got a contract. No question about it. Now, is it the right contract? Do we know what he's asking for? I think his mother's his agent. Is he trying to get all guaranteed money? Maybe they're still debating over a few numbers here, but I heard they were like $100 million apart on the numbers. So we talking Lamar wants to exceed Deshaun Watson's guaranteed money.
Right.
Is that the issue? I don't really know what the issue is, but in my opinion, if I'm Baltimore and I would have paid him, I would have signed him. This is my guy.
Right.
We're not going to franchise him. We're going to go ahead and give him his money.
Right.
Give him what money? We're going to give him at least $200 million guaranteed. I think that's a great starting number, and I think that's what the numbers are asking for going forward.
Right.
When Kyler Murray gets that kind of money, when Deshaun Watson gets that kind of money, then you can't justify not paying a league MVP, a unanimous league MVP. Like you can't not justify paying the man that kind of money. When these guys, Kyler Murray hasn't done okay, and then Deshaun Watson, I liked him in Houston, but he hasn't really.
His guy Dak can get paid, even though Jerry World jerked him around.
So is it by the numbers that we going by? Winning percentage here? We going by playoff wins here? We going by MVP statuses here? So how can you not justify paying what the market is asking for?
That's true. You're supposed to go off whatever the market asks for. Then you also have a stigma that certain teams have as far as when it comes to spending money. And they have a way that they operate. Now, there's also collusion going on with the other owners as well, as far as probably making sure no one offers him XYZ.
Okay, so let me jump in real quick. So I was reading, I thought the other day, where they said 5 teams pulled out of like the Lamar deal, like Washington, some of these losing franchises, like Carolina, like we don't want no parts of that. Did y'all hear that?
Wow,
that's because
he was talking collusion.
That would lead to that.
If so, that's because they have a quote unquote built-in excuse, like the Panthers. If we're looking for a quarterback, it's a lot cheaper for us to draft one than pay Lamar Jackson. Anybody that's actually looking for a quarterback right now, it's cheaper to have them on a rookie contract than having to go out and pay in excess of $180 million guaranteed to 180 to 250, somewhere in there guaranteed. You're gonna have to be paying that man.
But they'll do that for Aaron Rodgers though.
No, Aaron Rodgers already has a contract.
Yeah, they'll pick up that high ass contract because he's supposed to get like $60 million.
The Jets are gonna.
Yeah.
Like this thing gonna happen?
Yeah, it's damn near there.
Okay.
It's damn near there.
Well, that's certain things happen in the league. That's like last year, in the first year of Dak's contract. Dak made $75 million last year.
Jesus.
That's why Dak is not concerned about anything. He made $75 million in 1 year.
Wait, was that guaranteed money or is that off of?
That was guaranteed money. He made $75 million the first year of the contract.
Damn.
Yeah. If you notice, Dak was everywhere.
Oh my God.
Sleep number blew up. Dak switched from Adidas to Jordan.
He did.
Yeah.
Wow. $75 million.
And that was just it. And that wasn't part of incentives. Like he had to hit certain numbers to get that. That's just guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money.
Shit. Go ahead, boy.
That's why you have certain factions. And I hate that we're even talking about this because it's football. But Lamar pretty much has to fall on the sword for the future. Meaning, this is the way to start getting guaranteed contracts for everyone. Someone has to be that person that has to fall on the shield per se.
That's not how they're going to
sword
do it,
per se. No, what I mean is this. It's getting to a point where when this new collective bargaining agreement comes up, the players are going to be, that's the main thing that they're wanting.
They always cave on it though. They always cave on it.
You talking guaranteed money?
Guaranteed contracts.
Yes, and that's
guaranteed contracts.
Always cave on it. It's the older dudes who want it, but it's the younger dudes who don't want to fucking fight for it, and that be the problem with the NFLPA. And I respect any union. You know me. I'm always pro union wherever I'm at. But god damn it, number one, you have to take pride in your union. You have to know something about it, and you have to go fucking vote. And I wonder how many of them players are even voting, and or how many of y'all are standing on.
Oh no, they're voting.
It's hard. Okay,
they're voting.
I don't know if they get.
It's just what you know or want to know as a young player when it comes to union rights and things like that.
Okay.
Like the NFLPA just came out with that survey about all the different training staffs and whatnot.
Right.
And the league, the players, the teams in the league did not want this report to come out.
Right.
Because now the curtain is being pulled back.
Yeah.
See, like for years, think about a lot of people didn't know this, but like the Cleveland Browns had one of the most dirtiest facilities for years. I mean, you had multiple players getting staph infections. Now, if anyone doesn't know what a staph infection is, that's like a hole in your skin.
Yeah, skin disease.
$billion corporation.
Yeah.
Staph infections.
Yeah.
Don't add up.
Well, they got a new arena now, First Energy. We looked at it. Mug is pretty, so they ain't getting that no more.
First Energy is not that new anymore.
Let me jump in real quick.
We was looking at it. Go ahead.
Danny Dimes now ranks number 7th. That's the 7th highest paid quarterback in the league.
Wow. Can you give me the list of them people, gentlemen?
For sure. I sure can. Let's go up to
That
the
is
top.
freaking crazy. That is freaking crazy.
We go Mr. Rogers, number 1.
Bullshit.
Right. Number 2, we have Mr. Russell Wilson. Okay. Going down to number 3.
Say the number.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. No problem.
Rogers like 59.
Aaron Rodgers,
60.
50.27 annually. He signed a 4-year,
when you got that extension.
$150 million guarantee. All right. So then we go down to Mr. Wilson, 5-year, $245. That averages out to a $50 million signing bonus, $48.52 mil. Okay.
Why we got
$161 million guaranteed.
Why we gotta count these people money?
Kyler Murray, 5-year, $230, $189 guaranteed. That averages out to $46 mil, $29 mil signing bonus.
Ooh, he's so not worth that.
And then we go to Mr. Deshaun Watson, $230, all guaranteed. That averages out to $46 mil, a $44 million signing bonus.
See, it's just so crazy. It's just so.
Now, what does it say for Daniel Jones?
I'm sorry.
It's so crazy.
Excuse me. We're going to skip past Mahomes. I guess it's not.
Yeah, we know what Mahomes is doing.
That's stupid.
We're going to talk about Josh Allen. Y'all want to worry about it.
Wow.
Josh Allen, 6-year, $258, $100 million guaranteed. That averages out to 43 with a $16 million signing bonus.
Ooh.
And then comes Mr. Daniel Jones, 4-year, $160, $82 mil guaranteed, $36 million signing bonus. Averages out to $40 mil a year.
Good
Number
God.
7. That's number 7.
Jeez.
He's number 7 on the list.
Now, when you look at his total money, though, his total money is not big.
Guaranteed.
$82 million guaranteed.
Compared to everybody else,
82 million
Look, but you heard what he said for everybody else.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. His money is not big.
That's still.
It's a short contract.
82 million. That's more a guaranteed money than Lamar getting.
Now your man Dak's number 9.
Not for long.
Number 8 is Mr. Matthew Stafford.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you have to go off what the market.
So if we're going off the
suggests.
market for a league MVP, right, a winning percentage, playoff wins, then we're gonna talk 200 mil guaranteed at a minimum, right?
What
Like
he's
he
going
gotta-
off
at a
of,
minimum.
what he's going off of, and it makes sense for him to do this because you have to do it like this to, number one, push your like you mentioned earlier, D. You have to fall on the sword and not in the fact of making contracts guaranteed because he can't do that alone. That has to be contractually argued, and that has to be contractually, that has to be put in their contracts. What he can do is push for the next biggest contract, which he has to do what the union wants him to do, which would be the better than Deshaun Watson's, because Deshaun got the most guaranteed money ever.
Do you think Deshaun? What happened to Deshaun was the same equivalent to Rudy Gobert. Like they paid way too much. Do you think Cleveland gave him way too much?
No, I think the thing with Deshaun was
like he set.
They ended up giving him what the market suggests.
Okay. No. They over. It was like what they did with Deshaun. It was almost like Elon buying Twitter. Like Elon totally overpaid for Twitter, like a dumbass. And this is why the app is fucked now. They totally overpaid for Deshaun. Nobody ever got that much guaranteed money ever. So they totally overpaid for it. That was not what the market dictated. They overdid it.
If you take
that's why that's why the league is pissed off at Jimmy Haslam now.
If you take his numbers out of that out of that top 7, take his numbers out. Don't look at Daniel Jones. Everybody else got a contract before Deshaun Watson did. And look at their money. And you can't say they overpaid. They actually paid. It slotted right in what starting quarterbacks make. Starting quarterbacks who are above average, they make 40 to 50 million a year. If you are just average to below, you're going to be making 25 to 40.
Yeah. I just hate it for someone as good as Lamar freaking Jackson, who has to look at people that we know are not as good as him make way more money than him.
Just wait your turn. That's all.
But he's been waiting his turn. And the other part is
he's only been waiting for a year. Cleveland problem is they should have just like Dallas did, pay him early.
Yeah.
If you don't pay him early, you're gonna pay more late, and not
y'all ain't paid Dak early.
Not me. That's what I'm saying. But it doesn't mean that you're overpaying. What I mean is,
you get them while you're
paying. You're gonna have to pay for what the market moved up to.
Yeah.
Perfect example. May sound strange, may not. We all eat candy. We all know what nominators are, right? Little 6-pack.
Yeah, they ain't
40 cents.
They ain't as fat as they used to be though.
40 cents.
They ain't as fat as they used to be.
I immediately thought, damn, these was 11 cents. Dude just told me 40 cents for a pack of nominators with 6 nominators in them. The regular old school 6-pack.
It was 10.
40 cents.
10 cents.
Well, I was in Snooks yesterday and 12-pack of eggs was $6.94. I said, this can't be right.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, this can't be right.
When you think about how inflation moves, it's like, wait a minute, these guys aren't being overpaid.
Right.
And I always look at it from the player perspective. Remember, this team can afford to pay all these players, the staff, and everybody else. Y'all got the money. Y'all got all types of money. Get everything you can get from these teams, and then some. Because they're perfect example. Look at Byron Jones. The league does not want anybody to know about what Byron Jones said last week. I can't run. I can't jump.
Who's Byron Jones?
Used to play for Dallas. He was number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Went to the Dolphins as a free agent. Nice.
Which is back in the 70s or something?
This was just a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
Just within the last couple of years. He was one of our best D-backs.
And now he's saying he can't run
I cannot run. I cannot jump. He came out saying this. All of these shots and pills that they give us, look at me now.
Oh, yeah.
I just had to retire.
Wow, yeah. And you look at it, you noticing like a lot of guys now are retiring earlier. A lot of guys are retiring early. What was your point though? Finish it.
I'm just saying, when it comes to these teams and these players, get everything you can get. And another reason the Ravens are mad, Lamar doesn't have an agent. So not only you don't have to even pay anybody else, all this money going to you. Oh, man.
I hope to God he has some type of legal team behind him, though. All right.
You don't really need it.
Yeah, yes, he does, to make sure that that paperwork is right, sure this is right.
All you need is a template from what the other players didn't got. It's not that hard.
Man.
To know where I slide in at, like you say, list all my accolades versus everybody else. I got more accolades. They getting this.
The man's a league MVP.
That's what I'm taking.
The man's a
I'm not
unanimous
taking
league
anything
MVP.
less than, if I'm Lamar, I ain't taking anything less than $220 million guaranteed.
But here's the thing, though. The reason why you have an agent is because you don't have to worry about that, and you don't have to haggle with them back and forth, and you don't have, because right now you're an athlete, you're a person. You anything that they saying negative about you or your game, you're taking it personal. The agent won't take it personal. The agent gonna make it business.
Grant Hill never had an agent.
But also too, what the hell that mean? It's Grant Hill. He got off on name alone.
All he had was all you need is a lawyer and somebody you trust.
He's no dumb guy.
Grant Hill didn't have to ask for too much.
You're still an athlete. All you need is to know how to read a contract.
I know, but okay.
That's all you need to know.
More importantly, though, when B More says, or when B More balks at giving you that money, or they act like they don't want to, which they have, what are you doing as an agent? You're already talking to 4 or 5 other teams that's already down to do it. With Lamar, you're not doing it.
Now, if he doesn't have an agent, I'm sure there's some kind of consultant.
He doesn't. Yeah, I just hope it is.
I hope it is.
You got to look at it. He ain't the first person to not have an agent.
There's somebody on his team, man.
That's what I'm saying.
In his corner.
He's not the first person to not have an agent. That's all I'm saying. It's not hard. Especially when you know.
You tell me the last. What was
the
last big name player that got big time money that did not have an agent?
Now, that's
tell
a
me.
great question.
Yeah, because I can't think of them.
I don't know.
I can't think of them.
We don't know all the players who have agents or not. That's what I'm saying.
You would know somebody
what I'm saying.
big time.
No.
Somebody,
we don't know.
Right now. It's Lamar freaking
We don't
Jackson,
know
bro.
all the players who have agents and who don't have agents.
You know every big time player from LT to Tom Brady to Randy Moss to Jordan to Magic. You know their agents.
Not necessarily. All I'm saying is we don't know everybody's situation.
Okay. Whatever.
There are some players who have agents. There are some who don't. Like I said, for years, people didn't know Grant Hill did not have an agent. He only had a lawyer. Because a lawyer is going to do the same thing an agent is going to do.
If you're an all-time great player, we would know if you had an agent or not. That's all.
So,
like I'm saying, Grant Hill's an all-time player. All I'm saying is that's an example. That's an example of someone who you're not needing an agent. An agent. What is an agent going to do different than a lawyer is going to do for you? A lawyer is going to look at that contract and make sure you don't get fleeced.
But the agent, you're right. That's what the lawyer does. But the agent can also do what the lawyer can't do, which is talk to other teams.
Why can't that lawyer do that?
Talk to other teams. Get your endorsements together. Lawyers don't do that. They do lawyer stuff.
A lawyer works for you.
They litigate. They don't get you endorsement deals.
You don't need anybody. You don't necessarily need a lawyer to get you all these endorsement deals now.
Okay. All right. Before we wrap, I wanted to get y'all opinion. You mentioned it earlier. How much y'all know about this? About March Madness that's about to happen? Because I'll be honest with you, I did not focus on college sports, college basketball as much as I should have. I watch games like I always do, but I'm pissed off that North Carolina's so crappy. UMass is at the bottom of the A10 yet again, and shit.
We wasted all this time talking about
things
football.
Are different. Teams like Alabama and Auburn, right? Which were
we got time. Bro.
College football powerhouses. Now they basketball programs are thriving here, which really blows me away.
That is
to
kind
see
of
Alabama out there. Like, wow, Alabama was number one, and like, wow.
Yeah, I'm confused by that.
Yes, I am. I'm excited about March Madness.
Because if you look across the landscape of college sports, the SEC dominates in each sport: football, basketball, and baseball. The SEC dominates. LSU's the number one ranked baseball team. They're consistently number one. Vanderbilt's one of the best baseball programs in the country.
Now, you're not saying college basketball has been dominated by the SEC.
It is.
I'm saying like all time. I didn't.
I'm not saying all time. Like you were just saying recently.
Yeah.
If you think about it,
I know,
the SEC.
How the hell Alabama getting number one basketball team?
Right.
Mizzou has beaten Tennessee twice, and Tennessee is supposedly a higher seed than Mizzou.
Did Mizzou win their game yesterday?
No. No, they did not. They lost by.
Who were they playing? They were playing
Alabama.
Yeah.
They actually could have won.
Damn.
But since we are discussing college basketball, finally, there's been a lot of excitement going on in my life because it's been championship week, and this is one of the greatest weeks of all time.
It's one of the greatest months. It's the greatest, almost the greatest month in sport. Like this month is amazing. Go ahead,
Howard University.
You said what?
Howard University.
I watched that game.
Right.
I watched the MEAC championship. I just want to say
first tournament bid since '92, man.
That was a great game. But here's the thing, though. Watching that game, number one, I wanted to see Norfolk do it because Norfolk was the underdog, and they damn near were playing. It was almost like a home game for Norfolk because they were playing in Virginia. But if Norfolk would have won, they would have had an automatic berth to the tournament. Howard would have had an automatic berth to the NIT. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to see Norfolk win it, and Norfolk had the lead late. You know what I'm saying? Rob, did you watch that game?
No.
Why would Howard get an automatic to the NIT instead of the tournament?
Because their record was good enough for them to go to the NIT, and you had to not good enough to go to the tournament.
If they would have won the conference tournament?
No, if they would have lost. If they would have lost, they would have went to the NIT. Norfolk would have went to the tournament. Their record wasn't good enough for them just to go to the tournament off of a loss. You know what I'm saying? They would have had to win.
Oh, you ain't gonna never find an at-large team from a small school like that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I wanted to see, because if Norfolk would have won, they both would have still been playing.
Oh, SLU lost.
Yeah, SLU did lose. I watched some of that game too. They were getting.
Wait a minute. You said if Norfolk would have won, they both would have still been playing.
Yeah, Norfolk would have went to the tournament, and then Howard would have went to the NIT. What part of it? What don't you understand?
Damn. So Howard won. So they still both gonna be playing. You think Norfolk not going to the NIT?
I don't think they said that
What's their record?
The commentators were saying that Norfolk was not good enough to
Norfolk
go to
record
the NIT.
is 22-11.
Norfolk's going to be in the NIT. They 2020-11.
They said they weren't good enough, but hopefully they will. I don't mind being wrong.
Anybody who wins,
I'm going off what the announcer said.
This is how college basketball works. You win you win 20+ games and you don't make the tournament, you're going to be in the NIT.
Okay, good.
It's just point blank.
Good.
That's just
automatic.
And Norfolk is 22-11.
Yeah, the Billikens 21-12.
Okay.
You think they make the?
Of course they're in the tournament. They're one of the best teams in the 18.
No, they're going to be in a real tournament.
They are a top. The NIT is a real tournament. But they are.
Used to be.
No, the NIT is a real tournament.
It is.
I don't know why
is.
people don't think that, but
It is. Did you know that NIT used to be the one? NIT used to be the one, and the NCAA tournament used to be the lesser.
everybody knows.
But
that.
then I forget when it
Everyone
flipped.
knows that.
When did it flip?
54, 56?
That long ago? I thought it was later, like in the 60s.
No. But to piggyback on what we were just talking about, one of my bucket list dreams is to be in Las Vegas during championship week because there is 5 different conference tournaments going on. Like, shout out to my son, a friend of mine, Gary Clark, and Gary Clark Jr., who just started in his first Division I basketball conference tournament in the WAC tournament. He plays for Tarleton State. They made it to the conference semis and ended up they got sent home by Utah Valley.
So wait, it's going on right now because they should be done. Yeah.
Selection Sunday.
Over.
Yeah, for real. It's
Like
Selection
5
Sunday
o'clock,
today.
something like
There's
that.
only there was only 5 titles decided today.
Okay. Are they all done?
They're going on right now.
Yeah. What do you got? Shout out some scores to us, Rob, because I don't. I hope that the Tar Heels even make it. They probably not even gonna make the damn tournament. What? I mean,
No, they're not making the tournament.
that's
Everybody
freaking
knows
sad.
that.
How the hell
They'll
do
be
they?
in the NIT.
Princeton beat Yale.
Boston beat Yale. BC.
Princeton
beat Yale for the
Dog.
championship.
Boston College is not in the Ivy League. These
I
are
know.
conference tournaments.
Shut up, fool. Go ahead.
VCU beat Dayton.
Of course. Did they cover the
Alabama.
spread?
VCU is good.
I don't know.
This is for the championships now.
56, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alabama beat Texas A&M.
What was the score?
1982, 63.
Oh, wow. Because Texas A&M beat them a couple weeks ago by like 6.
And then there's 2 games going. There's Houston and Memphis. Memphis winning by 15 at the half, 46-31. And then Purdue is beating Penn State
Yeah, that ain't
35-27.
Houston lost
Houston
their
is
best player.
playing. Houston is playing Memphis for their championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, Houston lost
Wow,
their
because
best-
Houston just beat Memphis. Remember when?
Houston lost their best player yesterday.
Now, what was that game that we watched? Because Houston just played Memphis last Sunday when we were in Cleveland. They literally just played each other. What was that game? That was just for.
It was the end of the conference.
You said
regular
Houston
season,
beat-
dog.
That was the end of the
What
conference
you say
regular
about
season.
Houston? They lost their
They
best
just
player.
lost their best player yesterday.
That sucks.
I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, they have the same last name, but that he's either a relative of Gerald Sasser. His name is Marcus Sasser. If you've never heard of Gerald Sasser, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But you got to be, But Marcus Sasser.
Way to just peter out right there. You ain't even finished what you said. You just.
I don't want to insult anyone. I'm just saying, if
Peter
you
the
got
fuck
to
out.
know
Keep
about
going, Rob.
players.
Keep
If
going,
you-
Rob.
Gerald Sasser used to play
All right,
for
nobody cares. Keep
Texas
going.
Tech,
Keep
but
going, Rob.
his son
No, that
plays
was
for
all the
Houston.
games.
That's all the games.
If
Zach
that's
Edey.
the-
Go to that Memphis Houston game.
Real quick, Zach Edey, right, the 7'5" kid for Purdue. Have you seen him play?
No, he ain't seen him play.
Zach Edey. No. What about him?
Zach Edey's nice.
He is.
Zach Edey's going to be the number 2 pick. I'm
sorry, what games you want me to? I'm sorry.
I
like Zach Edey.
I want to watch that Memphis
State?
Houston.
Which game? Oh,
Memphis Houston.
halftime.
It's a
46
blowout.
46-31, 15 points.
I don't want to see no blowout.
Houston.
No.
Oh,
Memphis. Yes. Memphis that's a get back game for them. That is a get back game for them because they just lost to them. All right, so before we
Their
get
best
out of
player
here,
is hurt.
Huh?
He just hurt their best player last night.
did.
Houston just lost their point guard.
okay.
That sucks.
So since you know so much about college basketball, you so damn smart. Who's the Final Four then?
The Final Four is going to be Alabama, Arizona, Kansas, and I'm going to go with Purdue.
Purdue.
And I hate to say this. I really hate to say this with all of my heart. Kansas is going back to back. And I hate Kansas with a
Oh,
passion.
don't say that shit, bro. Do you think they that
Kansas is
good?
going back to back.
KU that good this year?
I hate Kansas.
Kansas
Kansas is
go
going
back to back
back to
since what?
all the top 4
Florida.
teams, the
Florida
top
was
4 or
the
5
last team.
teams,
Yeah.
the top 4 or 5 teams in college basketball this year have been Kansas, Alabama, Purdue, and I want to say
UCLA? No.
Marquette probably. But
Marquette's been that good.
yeah, Marquette is dynamite. Marquette is going to make it at least to the
He said
regional
dynamite.
final.
You know they good. He said that old ass word.
But Kansas is going back to back. I'd be surprised. But Bill, I wouldn't be surprised if they get upset because I know how Bill Self is. But I think Bill Self is away from the team. But Kansas,
why is he away from the team?
something I don't know. But Kansas, it's hard to beat Kansas.
Some serious shit. He away from the team.
Regional
All right.
final in Kansas City, by the way.
What do you got? What do you got, Rob?
I don't know. I haven't watched enough to put 4
Me
teams
too.
in there.
I can't say
really
that.
can't say,
Y'all
man.
need to step up y'all basketball.
Right. You sure right? Because I mean, it's just
This is
it's
crazy.
so
This is
it's
a
so
basketball
it's.
show.
I catch individual games, but it's just hard to.
I didn't
know
watch a lot of college hoops.
everything
this
is.
year. I
Oh,
didn't.
now is that an always thing or is just
No,
this
just
year?
this year.
Yeah.
Now I'm usually plugged in. I like
Yeah.
college ball, but this year I didn't watch a lot of ball this year.
I love college ball. I just really wish that them brothers would.
Shout out Courtney Ramey.
I will say that I
Thank you for
think
cutting me off.
South Carolina. I think
No, we only don't say that because Courtney Ramey's from St. Louis, and Courtney Ramey hit the game-winning shot last night for Arizona to win the Pac-12 championship.
all right,
Oh,
Arizona.
nice.
And he hadn't hit a shot all game.
My man.
Who's the coach of
All
Arizona
game,
now?
he literally was
The one that
scoreless.
counts. The one that counts.
And,
wonder who
oh, it
coaches
was
him.
pretty too. I mean, you know how at the park, panties, deep, 3
Nice.
to win the Pac-12 title. And
Long.
think about it, Courtney Ramey just came to the team this year. Shout out to Terrell Ramey too, his old dude.
Let's make
What,
it.
I know you feel proud for it last night.
What year is Ramey?
Transfer, he's a senior.
Senior.
Hell,
Wow.
I got South Carolina women winning the championship. I
got South Carolina
Staley
winning?
winning.
Really?
Oh, dude.
Wow.
Way to go out on the
I do,
limb.
I'm just saying, it's either them or
Really
UConn.
taking
I'm
a
just-
big
it's either them or
chance there.
UConn, man. It's them or UConn, man.
They on some.
Or maybe Oregon, but that Don Staley got a machine
it's hard.
with her,
You're
man. Like
not
she,
beating South Carolina.
Oh, man.
You're
If
not
you-
beating South Carolina. Got it all.
Shout out to Don Staley.
They
man.
got it
She doing
all.
her
They
thing
got
over
point
there.
guard, big players. They got bench players. They got defensive players. South Carolina is. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the reason they undefeated.
Yeah. They the new UConn, man.
I'm gonna go. I got probably them in UConn in the championship game, and they probably gonna win it. You know what I'm saying? Because
UConn's not making a championship game.
You don't think so? UConn's not.
I know.
Whoa, UConn's not good enough to make the championship game. That's a guaranteed bet every year.
No, not anymore, man.
Where you been
Things
at?
have changed, man.
Yeah, you need-
Oregon,
you need to
Oregon,
step up your
Stanford,
college
maybe.
basketball game.
Wow.
Women's
That
I
Gino,
definitely don't have time for
that
women's.
Gino,
I
no,
barely got time for
that's
men's.
ended. Bless his heart, man.
Well, look here. If y'all are so inclined, when this season gets going some more, we could definitely jump into. We can jump into it once the tournament comes out and everybody has their bracket. Y'all want to do a bracket episode?
I'm fine with that, man.
You down with that?
fine with that.
Okay, bet. What about you, Coach?
I don't care.
All right, bet. We can do a bracket episode. We can actually put it down on wax who we got. You know what I'm saying? And we can lock it in like that. Yo, thank you, brothers, for doing this episode with me today. March 12th, 2023, the year of our Lord. This was a good episode. We got a lot of topics in. Talked our cannabis, talked our basketball, talk college, talk Cleveland. Yo, major shout out. And we ate, major shout out to Incredible Burger, A1 Japan, Impossible Burger in Cleveland Mall.
South Park Mall.
South Park Mall. That was the name of it.
Second biggest mall in the state of Ohio.
There you
South
go.
Park
I can't
Mall.
believe it was called South Park Mall.
Ain't no love for Cleveland.
A1 Japan in Canton, Ohio. Place was fire.
A1 Steakhouse.
A1 Japan Steakhouse. Thank you for correcting me. And then what was the other place we ate at? What was the other joint? I know you ate at that jerk. You ate at that Caribbean
U-Jerk.
place.
Shout out to
U-Jerk.
U-Jerk in downtown Cleveland.
There you go. U-Jerk, you were fire. What else? What's the other place we ate at? I feel it was like it was one more. Cleveland, you got good cuisine. You got good food. Yo, if y'all listening, I know y'all are. Make sure, look, we about to go a whole nother direction right now. Coming up next, we got Christian with a K. She is coming up next. The sister is dope. She is about to come on with her show, Christian with a K. What's
Double dribble.
with the basketball?
Backcourt pass.
That was. She's gonna say random basketball shit to fit in. Yo, but Christian with a K is coming up next. Yo, her show is dope. This woman has like all the hottest like artists and music that is out right now. People that y'all don't even know about that's hot. Listen to her show and she'll get you up to date. Yo, major shout out to Coach Hill and Mr. Rob. Thank you for coming out, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yo, this is O the Great. This is another great episode. It's Sunday. It's time to smoke. Keep hooping. Keep smoking. We out. One.